Is there a time where you laugh? Who is asking this? The Holy Prophet of Islam. Who is he asking? Hazrat Gibraeel. He says, "Oh Gibraeel, is there a time when you laugh?" Hazrat Gibraeel says, "Ya Rasulullah, there is a time where me and all of the angels, we start to laugh." Yani, you know, when you hear a joke, when you start laughing and you can't control the laughter and you continue laughing, and whenever you remember that joke, what happens? You start laughing again. So Gibraeel says, yes, there is a time where I and all the angels, we begin to laugh. The Holy Prophet, even though our iman is on this, that the Holy Prophet knows everything. He has the knowledge of everything. But to teach us, he asked Gibraeel. So Gibraeel says, "Ya Rasulullah, there is a time that when we, the angels, are sitting and we know that Allah Azza wa Jal has created insan, but when we sit and look at this insan, yani the human being, yani you and me, the angels say, and Gibraeel says that when we look at that human, we know that Allah Azza wa Jal has created him and has sent him onto this world so that he can do good. Do what? Do what? To do good. Yani to become a better human. Try to please Allah. Try to please His prophets. Try to understand the Quran. Try to understand what the Quran is saying. This is our job. Gibraeel says, but what happens that insan, human, he starts to find comfort in this world. Hazrat Gibraeel says that when we see that a human spends all of his life trying to find comfort in this dunya, in this world, Angel Gibraeel says that we begin to laugh. Why do we begin to laugh? Angel Gibraeel says that Allah Azza wa Jal has created insan so that he can find peace and comfort only in Jannat. But we begin to laugh that he spends his life trying to find comfort in this dunya. Hazrat Gibraeel continues and says that Allah has created a human. When he is young, he prays that he becomes older. And when he becomes older, he prays that he becomes younger. He says that we all begin to laugh. Then Hazrat Gibraeel continues that this is the same person, that he comes to a certain age in his life that he prays, Ya Allah, give me a wife, that I do not want to be alone. Gibraeel says, then Allah Azza wa Jal grants his prayer, he gives him a wife. What happens? Then he starts to pray for a second wife. Gibraeel says that when he prays for a second wife, we begin to laugh. That Ya Allah, he did not have one wife, now he is praying for a second wife. Then Gibraeel says, we begin to laugh. Gibraeel then continues and says, Ya Rasulullah, but the best thing is that he is praying for a second wife and his wife is praying that he leaves here. So the husband is praying for a second wife and the first wife is praying that kisi tarike se isse jaan chute. Gibraeel says that we begin to laugh. Then Hazrat Gibraeel continues that insan then, because he is after comfort in this dunya, he prays, Ya Allah, give me awlad, give me children. All of you, your parents asked Allah that, Ya Allah, give us a boy, give us a girl, we want children. But Gibraeel says the time comes when the parents, they pray that, Ya Allah, we were better off without a child. And those that don't have children, they pray, And those that have children, they say, Ya Allah, we were better off without a child. Why is it that you think that some parents come to that stage in their life that they have to pray that they were better off? I hope that none of you give trouble to your parents. Because Alhamdulillah, we are followers of Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa and Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam. And our responsibility is that we love our parents. We respect our parents. We don't wait for them to tell us to do something, but we do something without them even asking. Yani, if your dad comes home from work, do you have to ask him that, Dad, shall I get your slippers, or should you get his slippers without even you asking? You should do it without him asking. If he walks in, you can get him a glass of water. You can come and give him a hug. You can give him a kiss, because he has been working hard at work for who? For you. Your parents work day in, day out hard because of you, because they want you to have a better life. If someone gets up in the morning at 6 o'clock and goes to work and returns at 12 o'clock at night, he is doing it for you. He is working hard for you because he wants your life to be better than the life that he has had. So you should acknowledge that. You know, and I always say that you should be grateful to what Allah Azza wa Jal has given you. Allah Azza wa Jal has given you loving parents, a loving family, a loving community. You should thank Allah Azza wa Jal. And finally, Hazrat Gibraeel says that the first thing was that a young person asks to get old and they laugh. And then when a person gets old, he says, Ya Allah, I was better off when I was young. How many times do you hear people saying that if I was younger, I would make different decisions? This life is not something where you can pause and rewind and go back. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, can we have a loud salawat please? Maulana alayhi salatu wasalam says that life is like a river which is flowing. And once that time passes, it can never come back. Yani, if you are standing and looking at a river and you put your eye on a water that is going past, that has a leaf inside it. Once that water has taken that leaf with it, that leaf will never come back to the exact same spot. That water will never return back. Our Mawla says life is like that. A river, once it passes, it is gone. Allah Azza wa Jal has given you time. Alhamdulillah, in my time, we didn't have an idara in Wakefield. We didn't have Maulanas in Wakefield. We didn't knew any doctors in Wakefield that were Shia. Alhamdulillah, you, the youngsters I am referring to, you have your own, this is your idara, this is for you, this is your future. Anjuman Ghulamane Aulad Zahra Salamullah Alayha was not created for me. It wasn't created for Dr. Saab or any of the executive committee members. It is for you. And by attending madrasa, by attending Jummah, by attending Shab-e Jummah, by attending majalis and programs, you come to learn something. And this is what we learn from the Holy Prophet of Islam. This is what we learn from Ahlul Bayt. This is why we have gathered here today. Because our iman is that through the zikr of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, wherever it takes place, you are not sitting alone. But angels come to look at that place and come to kiss that place where the zikr of Ali Muhammad is taking place. And Imran Khan is lucky that they don't only come like you have been invited just for today, and I think that you can come anytime because the doors are open for you all the time. But look at this beautiful narration that where the zikr of the Holy Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Ali Muhammad takes place, Allah sends angels, and they don't only come once. For 40 days and for 40 nights, the angels visit that place where Mu'mineen gather together and do the zikr of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.